Hi friends, we are working on our Mother's Day hat. Hi. How you doing? Good. So before we get started, we're going to talk about what we need. This art project, you can use a variety of things. So I'll tell you the different things that you can use, and then I'll also show you what I'm using, okay? So you can use regular paint for this. You can use watercolor paint for this, or you can use bingo markers. I would say that bingo markers work the best, and if I had some, I would absolutely, that would be my choice. It's the cleanest. This watercolor is probably the least clean. This is actually a trash bag. I have multiple trash bags cut up and put on this table because watercolor paint stains everything. But bingo markers, it looks beautiful. The ink from the bingo marker actually, it bleeds out into this material, so it makes it look really pretty and has like a tie-dye effect. Yeah, the watercolor will do the same thing, but it's just a lot more messy. Okay. So you have whatever you're going to paint with, or your bingo markers, or you could even color it with markers if you wanted to. A paintbrush, if you're using paint. If you're using paint, water to wash off your brush, water for drinking if you get thirsty, and if you're using watercolor, there's 4 garbage bags that I just cut down the middle and then taped onto my table. Okay, so I want to really quickly talk about the fabric. I'm going to get it for you really quick. That's inside the bag. So this is the fabric. It's really pretty. And I want to let you know that this project is one that would take a long, long time to get ready, because in school, you guys would paint this part, we'd let it dry. I'd take all of those home with whatever we were going to use to make it a hat, and I would do that and then bring back the finished product at school. So I just sent the pieces so that you guys can all do it individually. This material, although it's very pretty, is not the absolute most ideal material we've ever used for hats. We have used this before, but I found that actually a stretchy headband, if you have one of those at home, I would recommend that you use those instead, because getting this on and getting it right is difficult. I would recommend that when you do that, you use a stapler or tape, and you want to do this, of course, after it's dry. So you're just going to kind of put it in, and you can use like a bowl if you wanted to, or your head or your child's head as a model to get it on. But with this fabric, you're going to need to do a little folding so that it'll go on there, okay? All right. I thought I bought the disposable stretchable headbands because once I found how much easier those were than fabric, I was like, oh my gosh, we're never going to use fabric again. And the day that I was ready to do the hats, I noticed that they were still in my cart, and I would have missed the date by a lot to get the bags to you. So that's why we have this fabric. It still works, it's just a little bit more difficult. Okay. All right, let's start painting. So what I would do is, if you're using bingo markers, I would, like if you're using a blue bingo marker, for example, I would put all the blue that you want to put all over your hat, and then go to the next color, and then go to the next color until the hat is full of color. And if you are using watercolor paint, it soaks it up a lot. And when the coffee filter soaks up the watercolor paint, it makes it easier to rip. It causes it to rip easier. So you just want to be really careful and gentle with it. And you don't want to use too much paint, just enough so that you don't have to worry about it ripping when you transport it to dry. All right, so Mother's Day is coming up. It's give your mom a present or a card or both. And you can do a pattern or just kind of go off and do your own thing and get creative with it. Okay, I'm gonna rinse mine off and go to the next color. And think about the same thing when you were making your mom's necklace and you were making her bracelet. Just kind of think about what your mom would think is pretty. What colors does your mom like? Does she like a rainbow? Does she like pink and purple? Does she like blue and green? And if you don't know, you can ask her. Okay. So the bingo markers will cause a dramatic effect as far as the pigmentation, as far as how dark the color is. And that's one of the reasons why I really like using the bingo markers. But the watercolor gives it a much lighter and more pastel look, especially depending on how much water you put in the paint concentrate. Are you having fun with yours? It looks great. I don't know if you guys can hear the birds outside. It's really pretty outside right now. And if you want to go over colors to make new secondary colors, absolutely do that. Oops. All right, this is going to be a little bit of a quicker video than typical because there's not a whole lot to do that we can do on our own with this one. We need an adult's help to turn it into a hat once it dries. This watercolor, the pink one, because it has glitter in it. All right, I'll wait for a minute. I'm gonna get a coffee filter and attempt to try to show you parents how to do this, okay? Disclaimer, it's not gonna look easy. Or it might not even look neat, but I wanna show you so at least you have an idea. Although I'm sure one of you will probably figure it out in 5 minutes and it will be a non-issue. And I just really made it harder than it should be. That's probably accurate. So if you have a model, you can put it, I stapled the back of this, and it, there we go. That did not work. Okay, so I'm gonna go like this first, and then I'm gonna put my head in. Okay. So see, I got it. It's not exactly straight. You can fix it though while it's on. I would definitely recommend stapling or taping. I actually love this fabric though. I think it looks so pretty and it's gonna look beautiful after it's all done. And then you just kind of flip up the front, and any pieces of this that are sticking up, you could either glue, tape, or staple down. Careful of the staples though, because you don't want them rubbing in your hair. And voila, there is the Mother's Day hat. Okay, let me see yours. Oh, it's beautiful. She is going to love it. I hope you have, and this is mine, but it might rip if I pick it up, so just be gentle. See? I hope you guys have a wonderful time celebrating your moms, and I'll see you next time.